In this chapter, we'll be discussing about GST. GST stands for Goods and Services Tax. So GST is a single tax on the supply of goods and services. Okay, it's a tax on the value addition at each stage. So earlier we used to have a lot of number of taxes. So all of them are subsumed under GST. So credits of input tax paid at each stage will be available in subsequent stages of value addition. So the final consumer will bear only GST charged by the last dealer in the supply chain. GST merges all existing taxes into a single tax system. That is a very important point you have to remember. GST is a single tax system. Earlier there were a number of different taxes, but now under GST it has merged all the existing taxes into one single tax system. GST is governed by the GST Council, that is headed by the Finance Minister, and there is a 4-tier slab. Okay, 5%, 12%, 18%, 28%. So food items will not attract any tax and have been kept in the 0% slab. Similarly, petroleum products, although included under GST, will remain in 0 tax slab as of now. And with the implementation of GST, as I said earlier taxes like sales tax, excise duty, VAT, entertainment tax, luxury tax, all are subsumed. Subsume means include or absorb into itself. Okay, so the earlier taxes are all now gone, and only we have a single tax system on GST. So what are the advantages of GST? Uniformity of tax rates, reduction in cost of goods and services, easy to administer, and products of the country will be more competitive in international markets. So what are the taxes that were subsumed into GST? So earlier, what are the taxes that used to exist which are now part of GST? So excise duty, service tax, value added tax, sales tax, entertainment tax, central excise tax, octroi, purchase tax, luxury tax, taxes on lottery, betting, gambling. Earlier there were so many taxes, different taxes, but now all of these are subsumed into GST. So you need to know three terms: CGST, SGST, and IGST. So CGST, central GST, that is GST to be levied by the center on intra-state supply of goods and services. SGST will be GST to be levied by the states on intra-state supply of goods and services. IGST, integrated GST, will be levied by the center on interstate supply of goods and services. So center will levy and administer CGST and IGST, whereas respective states will levy and administer SGST. So the questions in this chapter that you can be asked in interviews are: what is full form of GST? What do you know about GST? They might ask you. So just you have to be able to speak a couple of sentences like it is a single tax system and the benefits of it. You have to tell and the 4 tax slab structure. So what are some advantages of GST, and what are some taxes that are subsumed into GST, and what is CGST, SGST, and IGST?